Do you have an Ender 3, Ender 3 V2, or CR10, and you just have a hard time keeping it level, and it always seems like that right side of the X gantry is always kind of sagging when it goes up, and it always makes things difficult? Well, join me today as I show you a solution to that very problem. See you guys inside. Hello and welcome to today's video. Today, as I said in the intro, an Ender 3, Ender 3 V2, or CR10, or multiple different types of printers. There's a couple of these kits out there that will help with the problem of, as the gantry goes up, there's one Z-rod, and it lifts that gantry, and you get a little bit of sag. No matter what you do with the concentric nuts, or if the gantry is completely tight, it creates that sag on that side. It can throw your leveling off, can ruin your prints, and just makes for a bad day, and makes it hard to use the printer. Well, I've been doing some exploring, and I found online on Amazon a kit that adds a second Z-rod to the Ender 3 V2 or Ender 3, or a separate kit for the CR10 models. So I purchased one because my Ender 3 V2 has been driving me nuts. I've been having a problem with this. There was a prior video, link up above, where I actually showed you guys it was a looseness in the gantry was causing the problem. Well, still having the same problem no matter what I did. So I tried this solution. For the Ender 3, it runs about $59 for the kit. But what's really cool is this kit works on the Ender 3s, Ender 3 Pro, or the Ender 3 V2. It even comes with an adapter for the Ender 3 and Ender 3 Pro to move the power supply enough to put the Z-rod in place. So basically, we're moving up to the similar model of the CR10 V2. We have a Z-rod on each side, so the gantry is moving up and down at the same time. There's no drag created by the one side having to move the other. So basically, we gave it a lot of strength and a lot of mobility. Now I put this on my printer, and I've printed several times where before I was constantly having to level the bed and make adjustments and everything. I've not leveled the bed in 8 prints, which is pretty darn awesome. So it's one of a big deal for me is that I can just use this printer. I can trust it now. Where before it was wagging and it was causing all kinds of weird stuff and would just throw my print off. And I'm actually looking to get this kit for my other Ender 3, and I'm looking for my original CR10 that does not have this dual Z. I actually really like this. So basically today is going to be me putting that on my printer. It's not hard to do. Now, granted, I did the Ender 3 V2, so I didn't have to move the power supply. But like I said, it comes with brackets for that to move it over. So that is an extra step. I do plan on doing this to the Ender 3 and Ender 3 Pro. So if you guys want to see me do that one, leave a comment down below that that's the printer you have and you want to see me make this modification before you try it yourself. But let's hop over to the printer. And basically I took video of me doing the work, and I'm going to do a voiceover for you guys of the steps that I took. Honestly, this was really simple. The hard part was putting the gantry back on and getting it straight and making sure it was even to the main frame. So basically, it saved me a lot of time, and I'm really happy about that. But before we jump over to that, if you enjoy the content on this channel or you have a question about 3D printing or anything like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you got questions, leave those comments down below. Let me know what questions you have. If there's something you want to see me try to print, resin, filament, I do them both. So definitely ask those questions. And if you can do me a huge favor and share the channel, share the videos with other people that you know might be interested in 3D printing or getting into the hobby. It helps me grow the channel, and basically this channel is to help anyone out that wants to do 3D printing and is having a problem. So let's hop over to the printer. All right, so while we go through this, I'm just kind of voicing over everything over, but here's what comes in the box. The stepper motor that you need, the braces, the Z-rod, the mounts, all that stuff that you'll need to put on there. Now what you're seeing right there is an Ender 3 V2. I'm actually going to show you an Ender 3 as well during this video. So there'll be one section. A lot of this is the same except for the power supply. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get up here and we're going to take the top of the gantry off. So there's 4 Allen wrench bolts, and this should lift right away. So we're taking this off because we need to get the X-axis arm off so we can add some additional parts and redo the wheels on the left side so that it'll actually hook into that new Z-axis rod. So 4 bolts, this pops off really easy. Then the next thing we'll do, we'll get the gantry, we'll actually pull the gantry off, and we'll lift the arm off as well. So be very gentle when you do this. Don't lose your bolts. That can be a real pain. But then we're going to start spinning the Z-rod up, and we're going to take this part off. Because on the left-hand side there, on my left hand with my wedding ring, we have to make some modifications there. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Now, right now, we are going to step over to the Ender 3 Pro power supply move. Because we've got to move the power supply over in order to be able to put the Z-rod on these older model printers. The Ender 3 V2, you don't have to do this. You can skip to minute 630. Minute 630 and skip this section. You don't need that if you're doing this to a V2. So we're going to undo the power supply completely from the frame. And then there's 2 brackets that come with the kit. You'll bolt the brackets onto there and bolt that onto the side of the frame, and it moves it nicely over out of the way so you don't have to worry about your axis hitting it, and also gives you all that room for that motor. So 4 bolts, I think it was only 2 bolts, and this comes right off. You'll see, yep, I dropped it. So this was pretty easy to do. You have some T-bolt, some T-nuts to get it into the side of the frame down there, like you can see right here. It's in the side of the frame and then going into the side of the power supply. And a little bit of wobble, but you can also see it moved the power supply back. So we had to move it back in order for the new Z-axis wheels to not smack into the motor too. So that's just kind of why that had to move. Now, some people go further and mod it and put it underneath, so it's just like the Ender 3 V2, but we didn't go that far. So now we're going to add in the new Z-axis motor. So there's 2 T-nuts on here and 2 bolts that'll just go into the top of the motor. And those T-bolts will put it right into the frame. So I'm getting that attached here now. We'll get that onto the frame. Make sure these are good and tight, especially going down into the motor. You don't want any vibration that could throw anything off here. So as you can see, I'm getting those nice and tight, and then we're moving in here. And if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the crew. We could really use you here, and make sure you share. So now I'm getting the T-nuts in there, and I'm going to tighten those up and tighten that motor to the frame. That way we're in good shape to keep moving through here. So we want that motor good and tight so it doesn't vibrate and cause us any issue. And there we go. We've got it good and tight. So now we're going to move on to changing out this section of the gantry. So we've got to put on the new shield that allow the arm to connect to that Z-rod. So we've got to take out the 3 wheels, making sure we don't lose any of the nuts and bolts. Now with my Ender 3 V2, I've noticed I have a lot of looseness sometimes on the right side. So while I've got it off, I'm just tightening those up to make sure those are good and tight right here. So just kind of a little bit of maintenance. While I've got it all disassembled, I'll take care of a little bit of work. So basically, we'll get those tight, and I'll tell you guys, after I installed this, I've used my Ender 3 V2 a couple times, and this has been worth it to me because I don't have that little bit of droop that I was suffering from. So we're going to take off the left side plate with the wheels on it. So we're going to get that off here as I jiggle the camera and bump into it. So this was a little bit difficult, but we're going to attach the Z-rod first. So this is the coupler that attaches the Z-rod to the motor. I'm going to get this hooked in real quick, just so you can kind of see how the Z-rod goes up the frame. Now when you're getting this on there, make sure you get it good and tight, especially to the motor. That way the motor doesn't spin within the gasket and doesn't turn your Z-rod. If you don't get that good and tight and set right, it's just not going to work, and then your gantry is going to basically hang and get stuck. And you don't want that to happen to you, because that can be a real pain to get it unjammed. So now we're coming back to the arm. Now this one, the Ender 3, you don't have to take the tensioner off. And the Ender 3 Pro, it's not attached at the same point. Here we have, for the Ender 3 V2, you are going to have to loosen your tensioner and undo the 1 bolt holding it on to that side of the frame. So as you saw, that's the new plate that we have to put onto the 3 wheels. And look, and this kit was really awesome with everything that it included. It had everything I needed for the new spacer, the longer bolts. Everything was done great in this $59 kit. So, and the CR10, if you guys are interested in seeing me upgrade my original CR10 in this method, I did buy the kit. It was actually cheaper. It was like $39, but I do plan on doing the same upgrade to my CR10. Now the CR10 V2s come with this dual Z-rod, so you don't even have to worry about this. So as you can see here, I've gotten the new plate on, I've got the new spacers, I'm getting some stuff tightened up. Getting it kind of finicky back in there. I'm getting the tensioner back in place, getting that bolt back in, and getting this thing really set up and ready to rock and roll. So once we have that on there, then we will take the bar back up to the top and we'll get it back onto the top of the gantry. And then that metal part just at the top, you see it's kind of gold that's on the new bracer that's actually loose right now. I'll tighten that up once I get it actually onto the Z-Rod and get it working. Now I'm kind of finicking there with my left hand. There's the new Z-Rod. We're going to get that in there. We're going to get it good and tight, because if this slips, like I said, your gantry will get jammed. And that's just not good for the motors. It's not good for the gantry. And you could possibly bend a Z-Rod, which sucks. Because finding one of these is not always the easiest thing to do in a local hardware store. So, and especially one that matches what you currently have. So make sure you get it good and tight. You don't have any slippage. And here we go. We're going to put the top on. We're going to put the gantry back on and get these aligned. Now I had a little bit of a struggle caused by the concentric nut, that I could not get the, if you're looking at this, the left side of the frame, the new section, I couldn't get it to go onto the frame very easy. I had to do some wiggling and some adjusting, and I finally got it to slide in place. But we're getting both Z-Rods in because one is shorter than the other in my instance. Then just kind of twisting both the Z-Rods till I get a smooth, easy movement. Now what you'll do is once you have this all put back together, you'll auto home the printer, make sure everything's in place, and then take a tape measure to the frame and make sure your gantry, with it being in home position, is equal on each side to the bottom of the frame. If it's equal, you're in great shape. You did it. You got it going good. Now you see me here. I'm messing with the concentric nut just to try to get that to slide down and get it into position, because that one side, that one wheel is just being a little stubborn. But a little bit of wiggling and it went down. Now this is a Z-Rod stabilizer. I had one on the original side. I'm trying to get the other one. I do apologize. The view is not so great. 2 T-nuts and it bolts right into the top of the frame. So that was a pretty nice little easy addition that kind of helped out the printer and keep its stability going so it can work and basically just be a smoother transition. So now here we come in. We've got to work on the wiring. So basically this kit takes care of the problem with the wiring too. So it creates a Y connecting wire. So what you'll do is you'll unplug your original Z motor over there on the far back. I'll unplug it and I'll plug it into the base connector on the new wire. And this creates a Y. There's a short and a long side. You'll plug the short side into your original Z motor, and then you'll take the extension across the bottom and plug it into the new one. Now I'm doing this on the Ender 3 V2, so you can see there's definitely the power supply in the back there, where the Ender 3 you won't have that. Run the wire. Make sure you have it to where it's not going to get caught by the leveling wheels on the bottom of your build plate or get caught up by the motor or anything like that. So it did take a little bit of finagling and basically some pressure, but it finally took and got plugged in. And with my printer, it's kind of just an awkward space because you can see that orange box. That's my butt converter, toning down my power for my hot end fan. So I can use those awesome Noctua fans, which if you're curious about that, video up above to link over to doing that. I'm also going to be doing a video coming up on how to do a Fang Noctua setup, which is 2 butt converters, both fans converted, and even quieter printer, which is awesome. So now I've connected the wire. We've got it ready to go. The wiring's in place. I'm reaching over. I'm going to auto home this guy, or I thought I was, but we're moving some stuff, cleaning up, and we are going to get this thing moving. And there we go. There goes the auto homing as everything kind of moves, and you'll see the plates start going. And I'm getting some tension back on that belt because I did have to release all my tension. So that's going to take some work to get it ready to go again and make sure I'm getting good movement. So one thing I will say about this project is I did have to do a lot of readjustment after I finished the reassembly because I had to re-level my bed. I had to check the gantry, make sure everything was moving smooth, and then retensioning my belts to make sure I'm getting a good solid print. So I went through about 3 or 4 calibration cubes. Now here's that Z-Rod connector again, because I actually did this to 2 different Ender 3s. So this is my original Ender 3. This is my original printer that I'm doing it to right now. So I'm trying to get the T-nuts in there. I'm dropping tools, throwing stuff everywhere, getting frustrated because I'm just being butterfingers at this point. But basically, this just helps hold the Z-rod in place. A lot of people say they don't like these, that they actually cause it to bind and bend. I have not found this to be the case. I actually like this because it keeps the Z-rod up to the printer and keeps it from wobbling. I've actually had one that did not have this and it warped, and I had to get brand new Z-rods. So now I'm putting on the top of the gantry. We're getting it back in place. 4 bolts, I'll retighten those. I'm slipping the Z-rod stabilizers on at the same time, so they're going onto the Z-rod, and now I'm going to tighten it up to the frame because now I know exactly where it needs to be. Everything looks straight, which makes sure that Z-rod looks straight on the back of the printer. That is a key piece that you want to keep in mind here. And then I'll tighten the 4 bolts on the top, which you can see I'm having to make some adjustment to make sure I've got those in place, because I didn't have them and the T-nuts came out, and basically I'm getting everything realigned again so that everything slips in. And this time I'm being a little smarter and just starting those bolts so they're in place. Even I make silly little mistakes sometimes. This is the art of learning with these printers, guys. Especially if you start modifying and changing things out, it's definitely a learning curve. My videos are not the only way to do it. I appreciate you guys watching the videos to try to learn. I try to show you as many steps as I can as I go through this. It does make for a long video. But now I'm getting the T-nuts tightened up on those Z-rod stabilizers. And the cool thing is this kit comes with 2 stabilizers. So if you don't have one on the other side, you can add both and have everything in here. Kind of a little bonus thing with it. But again, let me know if you're curious to see me do this on the CR10, because that one is definitely a little bit bigger of a project, but it will make the CR10 almost identical to the CR10 V2s, who already have this in place doing these dual Z-rods. And honestly, I have found less shifting and a lot of other lesser problems as I go further up of unevenness or knocking out prints with my V2s than I have with my V1. I've actually been very pleased with the CR10 V2s. Link for CR10 V2 down in the description down on Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you guys do look for printer stuff, please help me out. It does help the channel, keeps money coming in so I can buy filament and parts so I can do all these cool videos. Because basically I want to help you guys out to have great prints from as quickly as possible right out the bat, or help you solve a problem that you're having. If you are having a problem, leave a comment down below. But this wraps this up. We're going to kick over to the ending here. Alright guys, that's it. So it was pretty easy installed for the Ender 3 V2. Like I said, the hard part was getting the gantry back on and getting it set, making sure, taking a measurement, making sure both sides were equal, and then moving it up and down a few times to just see how it did. Make sure it wasn't binding or anything like that. Readjust the concentric nuts, make sure everything's smooth and moves up and down. But honestly, there wasn't that hard to make this modification. We didn't even have to get into the motherboard to do it, which is awesome. The kit makers that did this one, they did a really awesome job making the kit, thinking of all the pieces that you needed to do this. So if you guys are making that modification, good luck. I hope this video helped you out. Remember, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to share the channel. If you have any problems, leave me a comment down below. I'll try to help you out. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video.